So I tell you, new buckaroos, how the heck are you? I'm going to do a little whiskey with you in a couple different ways here, but let me check something real fast here. Make sure that's working like it's supposed to. There we go. Now we're in business. Okay, so here's what I got. I got some Heaven's Door single barrel select cask strength straight bourbon whiskey, Park Hills Warehouse. This is at 123 proof, 70% corn. It's got to be a minimum of 51. Keep in mind, 72, 22% rye. That's a nice amount of rye, 8% barley. There you go. Let me show that to you. So I've got this served as well, sort of an old fashioned. I just have it served straight up. Folks are used to seeing an old fashioned with a big ice cube, but I like a straight up cocktail. So I've got this one served straight up. It means I've got it well chilled. I'm just not leaving ice in the glass. So I've got that. I've got a homemade orange zest simple syrup and some orange bitters and sláinte. Oh man, that's delicious. Damn, that is good. Wow. Yeah, I made the simple syrup for something else, but I had a little bit left. So I thought, well, let's make a cocktail here. I'm gonna do some whiskey rocks for the next one. Now I opened this yesterday. Some friends gave this to me. Damon and Ashley, again, thank you. I really appreciate it. I had it neat yesterday, but I want to try it on the rocks today, just out of curiosity, mostly. But I thought I'd drink this first. I've got my pork butt out there on my smoker in the backyard. I'm in my garage area right by the front yard. But I've got a few more minutes on that. So and I get a little antsy when it gets close. The thing with the pit barrel is you don't want to check it. You gotta leave it alone. Don't open that lid. You're gonna screw it up. So I'm keeping myself away from there until I know it's time to go check. Oh, man. That's delicious, man. That's really good, man. I don't care who you are. That's tasty. Ah, damn, that's good. Yeah, that's really tasty, man. Put about 2¼ ounces of the whiskey. I've got about 1 ounce of the simple syrup in there. A couple of dashes of orange bitters. I'm using the Regans. 45% alcohol by volume. How about that? Boy, if you chug that shit, you get a buzz. Drink a shot of that, but that might hurt other things. Do a shot of bitters. Oh man, that's a lot, man. That might take your taste buds out of the game, man. But this product that they gave me here is their 13th anniversary called the Leaky One. It's a sherry cask peated single malt, aged 18 months in used bourbon, 42 months in ex sherry barrels. And man, it is just freaking serious. It's at 56.3 proof, so it's at 112.6. Yeah, it ain't playing. I drank a shot and a half neat yesterday in my Glencairn, and boy, it was delicious. But I am curious to put on the rocks since I got a lot of heat going on today. I want to drink the sweet drink first, and then we're going to go to that and see how that affects my taste buds. Anyway, oh man, that really is good. That's a nice cocktail. Yeah, I don't know why everything has to be about ice. I love a straight up cocktail, which may be why I prefer the Manhattan because it is typically served straight up. Although a lot of places will ask you which way would you like it, but typically most places will serve an old fashioned with a big cube. A Manhattan is typically served straight up, but man, I wish more places would serve a straight up old fashioned because man, I think for me that's what works the best. I don't think it's a cocktail that needs ice to survive, and so I'm not sure why folks seem to want to put one in there. Oh, but man, that's a delicious cocktail. Get that fresh orange peel, adds to the aromatics, if you will. So I've got an orange simple syrup, orange zest simple syrup with the orange bitters, and you add the orange peel. Well, there's a lot of orange going on there. At work, I do a cocktail using the orange zest simple syrup. Do it called cigar batch old fashioned, where I use tobacco bitters. So I use the Union Horse Reserve bourbon, the simple syrup, and then the tobacco bitters. And then when the tobacco bitters reacts to the whiskey is just, oh man, it does give you that illusion of cigar tobacco. As I get close to done there, I'm going to get my cocktail ready here because I want that to sit on the ice for just a little bit. We'll pour a nice pour here. This is a jigger glass. So I'm going to let that sit there. Let that get cold and happy for a minute as I finish this cocktail up. Yeah, I also put a couple big potatoes out there with smoked potatoes. Something you crazy? Yeah, I've done it before. I like the way it comes out, but anyway, these potatoes my wife picked up are just huge. They're bakers, man. They were monstrous. I could only get two in my hanging basket, and I had to get two of the smaller of the potatoes, and they're rather big. But I had to get two of the small ones to get two to fit in that damn hanging basket. So I've got it sitting in there. The pork, again, one of the things I love about the pit barrel is it gives you the ability to hang the meat. It doesn't have to sit on a grate, right? So I've got a hook in there, it just sits on the rebar. That way it just cooks evenly. That smoke encompasses everything. It's not sitting flat, so you don't have one side. Oh, excuse me. It's an interesting color for a single malt, but an American single malt, since it uses it's 18 months in used bourbon cask. I'm guessing most of that color comes from this sherry cask. Oh man, that's just beyond delicious, man. I've had some say, "Why do you use an alcohol of that quality in a cocktail?" And I tell folks, "Well, your cocktail is only as good as the product you use. Should it be a cask strength? Well, probably not. I've got a nice drink left that I'll probably drink neat. However, it because it is such a high proof whiskey, it doesn't get swallowed up by the other ingredients. Even though I've got that simple syrup and those orange bitters, because it's such a big, bold whiskey anyway, it still comes through. And I think that's the point for a cocktail like this. You need a whiskey that's still going to come through. In my opinion, you need to have a minimum of a 90 proof whiskey. 80 proof whiskeys tend to get lost in an old fashioned for me. Even a Manhattan, it's got to be a minimum of 90. But I personally like 100 or better. even with the addition of that orange here. A lot of orange in the simple syrup, the orange garnish, um, the orange bitters. Yeah, you still feel that initial whiskey. So anyway, anyways, anyways, I digress. Let me finish this up, and I'm gonna get to that next one here. Just getting happy over off to the side. I want to start getting it cold. Man, that's delicious. That really is. Oh, mercy. That was delicious. Okay, let's pick this up now. So I had this neat yesterday, like I said. It is big, it's bold. It's at first I wasn't feeling the smoke on the nose initially, but when I took that first drink, I went, oh my lord! But as I let it sit a little bit, I was feeling the smoke a little. I think it took just a little bit to get to me, but boy, it starts out rather sweet and neat, and then you feel that fruit notes, a lot of stone fruit in the middle, and then that big smoke, oak and spice in the finish. It's just gorgeous. So now that I'm trying to get it cold here, we'll see what it does for me. Not a big cube there. Oh wow. So getting whiskey cold, put it on the rocks. Is it a good idea or a bad idea? Well, it kind of depends on you, and it kind of depends on the whiskey as well. Some hold up to it better than others. It's really up to your taste, but some folks like it cold, some don't. For me, a lot of it's about the weather here, right? I've got some wicked hot weather, so I tend to like rocks more. But I'm also curious. I always want to see what a whiskey does both needed on the rocks. And when you get enough cold, you get that right amount of melt off. You get to what I call the sweet spot where those sugars all come to the surface for you. Now, if you wait too long after that, you're going to kill it completely. Trust me. But for a minute there, just for a brief few seconds, you're going to get that sweetness right up top. And by golly, I'm just about there. Yeah, it does mute some of the flavors and aromas. I'm not going to lie about that. You put on the rocks, you're going to mute some, but you might gain some as well. You're not going to gain any aromatics, but you may gain some flavor or trade some for others. Maybe a better way to put it, because you're going to lose some, but you might pick up some different flavors that you weren't getting neat. Just going to let those come through. Well, you got that big smoke though. That smoke ain't playing, man. That smoke ain't playing, man. Oh man, that smoke ain't playing. That is interesting. They used to do one of their early whiskeys was a hickory smoke whiskey, and I just loved the hell out of that. But they quit making it, and I guess they're going more for traditional, but with this peated single malt. But this it does remind me a lot. It is a different smoke for sure, but it does remind me a lot of that hickory smoke whiskey they used to do because that whiskey was just insane. So now I'm getting right to that sweet spot. I feel those sugars come to the surface where I'm getting those caramel or toffee-like notes. Maybe a hint of molasses, a little bit of brown sugar going on. Ah, shit biscuits. Here we go. Oh man, that's delicious. I just opened it yesterday, and I'm already through half a bottle now. I had 2 drinks yesterday and today, so I'm going to tuck it away for a minute. I'm going to kind of try to forget it even exists for just a little bit. Save it for the next special occasion. This is July. I don't August. I don't really do much in August because August. Well, son's birthday's in August. We lost him to cancer, so I usually take that day of his birthday off. So my wife and I. So August is usually kind of a somber month for us, and then September's coming. In September, baby, our anniversary. Wife and I will hit 30 years. Mm. Ah. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy, Cilantro. Thanks for tuning in.